Hey friends, it is that time again. Day 6 of the live video challenge. And I had told myself yesterday I was not going to procrastinate. And I was going to do it first thing this morning. But then I read the topic. And I gotta tell you, this was a tough topic. So many thoughts, so many memories, some I really would prefer not to have dealt with today, but that's okay because it's going to get real. And I kind of knew those early topics were probably going to be easy and it would probably get a little harder, and today's is a lot harder. I'm sniffing a little bit of lavender because I really want to stay calm. And I don't want to be so emotional that you can't understand what I'm saying. But I did make some coffee because Zing's not going to do it today. Okay, so the topic is, what's one of the hardest things that you've found yourself in where you wanted to blink and make it go away? And what did you do about it? Well, I got to tell you, I have been in plenty of situations. Hey guys, hi Lewis, hi Ed. And I've had some bad things happen to me in my life, and I've had some wonderful things happen to me in my life. I've been raped. I've been robbed. I've been almost homeless. I've been homeless. I've had blessing upon blessing. But the things that hit me the hardest today when I was searching deep within were the things that happened when I had my children or involved my children. Because I'm a mama. I am a mama through and through. And I tossed between two different stories. One was the day that I got a phone call saying my son had drowned in the pool. And they couldn't tell me if he was alive or dead, that he was being transported to the hospital. But that was okay. He made it safe and sound. And he is a great swimmer now. And he's 6'9" and lives in Austin. And he's probably laughing when he reads this or watches this video. But the memory that was probably the one where I would have blinked and completely disappeared in was the year that I was getting divorced from my husband. Now, my husband and I were married for 20 years, and we are good friends now, and I love him dearly. And it was my first Christmas to not spend with him. And I was feeling guilty because we were going to drive from Orlando all the way to North Carolina to see my parents and spend the holiday with my sister and her daughter and my daughter and my grandson. And so actually my daughter didn't have a grandson yet. I take that back. This was 2 Christmases before. And so we took off. We got the car packed and we drove and we drove. And we had never been to my parents' house. They had just bought this bed and breakfast the year before. And it was supposed to be about a 10-hour drive, but anybody who's ever traveled with me knows that 10 hours is probably going to be 13 because I love to stop and I have to go to the bathroom and stretch my legs, and I enjoy the scenery, and I am just spontaneous like that. So we drove and we drove, and it was getting later and later, and it was, I guess, about 9 o'clock, and we were 2 or 3 hours away from my parents' house, and I stopped for gas. And those were in the days when you didn't have to pay ahead of time. And there was no machine where you could put a credit card in yet. So I filled my tank up and popped inside, grabbed a few drinks and some snacks for the kids, went up to the counter, handed him my credit card, and a few seconds later he said, "I'm sorry, but this card is declined." And I said, "That's not possible. That card can't decline. It's got a huge limit, it's paid off." And he said, "Well, it's saying declined." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, there must be something wrong." So here, gave him another card, ran it through, it was declined. At that point, I started to get pretty freaked out. I had about a $40 tab, and I didn't have any cash on me. I had not gotten any cash from the bank before I left. They didn't have ATMs back then. So I started pulling out cards, and I had 5 or 6 credit cards in my purse, and he tried every single one of them, and every single one of them declined. And about the 4th or 5th one, I realized my soon-to-be ex-husband had canceled all the credit cards, and I was screwed because I had no way to pay for this gas, and I had no way to get the gas back out of the tank, and I was probably going to go to jail. And about that time, a police car drove up, and I thought, oh, heavens, somebody working on one of the other registers has seen what's happened, and they have called the police, and I'm going to go to jail, and my kids are sitting in that car out there, and they're going to see their mama arrested because she didn't have any money with her. And all of a sudden, I just prayed. I said, dear God, do not let this happen. It was Christmas Eve, and I just did not want anything like this to happen with my kids. And I heard this voice behind me, and the gentleman said, excuse me, ma'am, do you need some help? And I said, well, apparently my soon-to-be ex-husband has canceled my credit cards. And he's like, well, here, I've got $10 extra on me. Take this. And he handed it to the gentleman at the counter. And the guy at the counter said, well, ma'am, your gas is $25. You still have to pay the rest of it. It's like $15. And I said, well, we'll put all this food back. You can have that. I said, can I write you an IOU? I promise I will come back through here after Christmas and I will pay you personally. And he said, well, ma'am, we don't have any way to write an IOU. And about that time, the tears started to fall. And the next thing I knew, that cashier, who probably made $3 an hour, pulled out his wallet, took a 20 out, and he paid for my gas. Now, I didn't have to do anything but just pray. And I can't say I solved the problem, but I can guarantee you that boy got repaid and double time. And I will never forget that young man. He had no reason to believe that I would pay him back, and probably needed that money on Christmas Eve just as bad as I needed it. But he wasn't going to let me go to jail, and he wasn't going to let my kids see me in that situation. I don't even know if my kids know that story. So Zach, Alicia, if you're watching, I hope you know I love you, and I am proud to be your mom, and I hope you never have to go through that situation. All right, guys. Whew. Day 6 is done. I wish everybody luck. I know this is a tough one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.